son of a bitch. Cause Punch Drunk loves ya.
What up? What up? You already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moo. Shot himself, aka El Adobo, aka El Sazón, aka El Borracho, aka Café Bustelo, aka El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, great night of boxing. Vergil Ortiz did his thing, sent another statement in the 154-pound division, the most exciting division, the most interesting division, the most stacked division, in the most deepest division in the sport of boxing. If y'all been following the channel, I'm gonna keep on seeing it because I gotta pop my own collar when it comes to, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not right all the time, but I've been saying since day one, since I have been having Punch Run Boxing, since I created the channel, I said the 154-pound division is the most stacked division, the best division in the sport of boxing. And the reason why a lot of people wasn't giving credit to this division as being as stacked, as being as deep, is because, when Canelo Alvarez left, and then people didn't think that there was a high invested fighters, famous fighters, relevant, now I'm not going to say relevant names, but high invested fighters. 154-pound division always been the deepest division. The 154-pound division always been the most competitive division. We've seen pound for pound great fighters look ordinary. We've seen Canelo Alvarez and the fight with Lara. A lot of people felt that Lara beat Canelo Alvarez. A lot of people have seen even the Mies Andre when he had a split decision versus Metal. People see Jamel Charlo lost to Tony Harrison, but then beat Tony Harrison in the rematch, and then had a tough fight with Brian Castano, where there are people out there that felt that Brian Castano beat Jamel Charlo, and Jamel Charlo knocked out Brian Castano. We also seen the Brian Castano versus Lara fight. I believe that Castano beat Lara in that draw. We see Fundura lose to Brian Mendoza. We seen Tim Tszyu beat Brian Mendoza. And then we see Fundura beat Tim Tszyu. Feel me? We seen Terrence Book Crawford. Pound for pound, number 1, 2, you can flip it around. He's not even in just the best of this era talk. He's already compared as one of the GOATs, one of the greats. And even Terrence Book Crawford himself looked the ordinary in a 154-pound division. Because I always said that this division has been always the most difficult division. This is the most difficult pit stop there is in the sport of boxing. When I'm talking about pit stop, I'm talking about, if you're in a 135-pound division, 140-pound division is supposed to be a pit stop to the welterweight division. The 154-pound division is supposed to be a pit stop to the middleweight division. You know what I'm saying? The 168-pound division is supposed to be a pit stop for the light heavyweight division. The cruiserweight division is supposed to be a pit stop for light heavyweight to go to the heavyweight division. But 154 is the place you don't want to stay that long. 154 is where you're gonna get exposed. But 154 is where the fans of boxing, this is where the fans of boxing know what you're made of. This is the division that everybody gets tested. Even Vergil Ortiz versus Boachuk. But by saying, me always saying that this is the most stacked division, I'm talking about that the number 1 could be equally as good as the number 10 ranking. The number 2 could be as equally as the number 9 ranking. And it wouldn't be a surprise. It wouldn't be a surprise if Vergil Ortiz fights Boots Ennis and beats Boots Ennis, or lose to Boots Ennis. It won't be a surprise if Vergil Ortiz fights Fundura and Fundura beats Vergil Ortiz, and vice versa. It wouldn't be a surprise if Keith von Tom Thurman beats Fundura, or vice versa. It wouldn't be a surprise if Jamel Charlo fight Errol Spence and Errol Spence beat Charlo, or vice versa. It wouldn't be a surprise if Boots fight Jamel Charlo 154 and Jamel Charlo beats Boots, or vice versa. It wouldn't be a surprise. Ladies and gentlemen, The good thing about it is that we all understand that the 154-pound division is the most interesting division in the sport of boxing today. Look at the names, look at the faces. And if you add Bud Crawford amongst these guys, and I know Erickson Lubin got knocked out in the second round. Yeah, at the end of the day, Erickson Lubin had some good fights, some credible wins. The Ramos win, right? He did give Fundura a run for his money. It was a good fight. It was a good war. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, at the end of the day, this is a sport. We gotta stop this contradicting and the hypocrisy that when we say, man, yo, all these guys are saving their O in boxing, yo. People are saving their O, but then when these fighters get to O, we turn around and write them off. So when we talking about a potential fight with Vergil Ortiz, because now you already know that the biggest story in the sport of boxing it is Vergil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis, but it's also one of the biggest stories in the sport of boxing is alongside with the potential fight of Vergil Ortiz versus Errol Spence in Dallas, Texas. So we need to stop the hypocrisy. If this is a stacked division, then there's a lot of matchups that people should not be unhappy about, but promote and be glad. If Virgil Ortiz doesn't fight Boots Ennis, but fight Earl Spence, why are you mad? If Virgil Ortiz doesn't fight Boots Ennis next, but fight Xander Zayas for a title shot, why are you mad? If Virgil Ortiz doesn't fight Boots Ennis, but then fight Jamel Charlo, the guy that was the reigning king in a 154-pound division and nobody took his crown, why are you mad? This is a stacked division. That's what a stacked division entails. That's what it's a stacked division. That's the definition of a stacked division. Then you put Fundura and Virgil was a good fight. Spence versus Charlo was a good fight. Spence versus Boots is a good fight. Josh Taylor versus Bachram is a good fight. Bachram versus Virgil was a good fight. Josh Kelly is a good fight. Xander Zayas versus Boots is a good fight. So what anybody, yeah, I'm gonna say like this: if anybody's complaining about a potential fight with Virgil Ortiz and Earl the True Spence, you're not a hardcore boxing fan. You a slave to one fight. And I've been saying this for years. The craziest thing about the hardcore boxing fans is that we shrink our own sport. How could you say in one breath that 154 is stacked, but then get mad at a matchup of Earl Spence and Virgil Ortiz? You can't get mad. We can't get mad. Even the most lucrative fight and probably, arguably, the best fight is not even a title fight. When you talking about Virgil versus Boots, ain't even a title fight. Jamel Charlo versus Earl Spence ain't even a title fight. If Thurman were to turn around and give us Keith Thurman versus Earl Spence, y'all go who y'all dare and be like, I don't know, man. We waited for that fight a long time ago, man. I want to see that shit. Man, get the hell out of the sport of boxing. You're not a fan of boxing, bro. You're not a fan of boxing. You're not a fan of boxing. Usted un llorón, eso es. Those that be crying, I don't see no damn Earl. Earl Spence hasn't been in the ring for 2 years. Charlie never been in the ring for 2 years. Come on, man. Yesterday night was exciting in and out the ring. Yesterday was exciting when Boots Ennis and Jamel Charlo going at it. It was exciting that Earl Spence, you know what I'm saying, going to the locker room and seeing Virgil Ortiz and Virgil Ortiz saying that that's a dream fight. That's a good fight. Whether people like it or not, Earl Spence versus Virgil Ortiz in Dallas, Texas, the 60K in attendance, everybody gonna be watching. You know why? Because we want to see, you know why? Because whether people like it or not, Virgil Ortiz road leads to Terrence Bud Crawford. And that's why you saw the thumbnail today. Whether people like it or not, I said this before. One of the biggest mistakes that Boots Ennis made was to Doug Virgil Ortiz when there was significant money, when there was a contract on the table, and even Turkey Al Sheikh voiced that let's bring the facts. Let's bring the facts. Because I don't want people because I see somebody in the comment section say, no, you spinning a narrative punch. No, no, no. Don't get mad at Turkey Al Sheikh because Turkey Al Sheikh ain't spinning narrative. Turkey Al Sheikh was the one that exposed Jerome Booth Ennis. Turkey Al Sheikh confirmed that the potential fight between Jerome Booth Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. did not happen because Ennis changed his mind and wanted to stay at welterweight instead of moving up to fight Ortiz at 154 pounds as planned. As planned. Al Sheikh expressed that he tried to make the fight happen for a big Saudi Arabia card, but was unsuccessful due to Ennis' change of heart. So if anybody in this community, any channels, any YouTube channels, any X X app account holder, any Facebooker, any IG account holders tell you that no, Boost didn't duck Vergil. Stop lying to yourself. If you could lie to yourself, you could lie to everybody else in the world, bro. If you could lie to yourself, you could lie to your kids. If you could lie to yourself, you could lie to your woman. If you could lie to yourself, you could lie to God. You could lie to Jesus Christ. He'd be in your face and know what you just did, and you would lie. That's the saddest people on the world is those that lie to themselves because you could lie to everybody. And you could lie to everybody. Ain't nobody spinning narrative. Nobody created this narrative. Nobody created this narrative, ladies and gentlemen. So Vergil Ortiz turn around. Shout out to Boxing Talk in the building. Shout out to Lono's Boxing in the building. If anybody, if anybody, let me take this thing out. Act like somebody creating some narratives, y'all just don't want to face reality. Give me a second. He said, fight boots. Lono's Boxing said, fight boots. I can't share it. He said, fight boots or it's a duck. Lono's Boxing said, fight boots is a duck. Y'all crazy, bro. If they don't fight now, this fight punch. What source is that from, brother? That was Turkey Al Sheikh himself. That was the ring. Even Turkey. Hello, yo, y'all hear me? Yo, Turkey Al Sheikh went on several interviews. He was on the interview with the Boxing Voice and said what he said. Y'all can even see the interview with Turkey Al Sheikh and the Boxing Voice, where Two Tone asked him about Jerome Booth Ennis. That's what he said it. I don't understand where y'all like I can't believe and I'm not saying some of y'all probably didn't catch it, but he said it in several interviews. He said it with Adi the Oladipo's interview, and he said it on the Boxing Voice. He exposed Jerome Booth Ennis for ducking Vergil Ortiz. So I'm gonna say this: if Vergil Ortiz turn around and say, you know what, I got too many options. Booth got options. Everybody got options in the 154-pound division. I'm sorry, folks. If y'all want to call that a duck, y'all could call that shit a duck. For me, it's not a duck. Booth Ennis was a duck. Booth Ennis chose to fight the Stanionis and the Limas of the world than rather fight Vergil Ortiz. If Vergil Ortiz says, you know what, man, I'm fighting Errol Spence, Dallas, Texas, two Dallas natives. They both have a background. They came from the same teacher. That should do 60K. And ladies and gentlemen, Errol Spence got more of a legacy than Jerome Booth Ennis. Errol Spence got more of a legacy than Jerome Booth Ennis. And if y'all don't think you're lying, and I'm not even an Errol Spence fan, because my guy was Keith on Tom Thurman. So I came into this community always debating people about Keith Thurman and Earl Spence. Earl Spence was good. I always felt that Bud Crawford and Keith Thurman would be in Earl Spence. But I'm just saying, Earl Spence grew into a lucrative commodity. Earl Spence did 30K with Kell Brook in the UK and then did his thing in Dallas Stadium with Ugas and almost did 40,000 people in the stadium. Imagine what he could do with Vergil Ortiz in Dallas. You think I'm writing Earl Spence off because he had one blemish loss with a guy that's now arguably one of the GOATs in the history of the sport of boxing? I mean, that the performance was bad. But now that we saw what Bud Crawford did to Canelo Alvarez, shit, that loss is highly respectable now. Ain't bad. It's a respectable loss. It was a respectable beatdown. And that's what I mean. We need to stop being hypocrites and contradicting ourselves and stuff like that. We want to shame fighters today with the past. But yo, Roberto Duran got knocked out in the second round by Hearns. Roberto Duran got knocked out in the second round by Hearns. Roberto Duran quit in front of the whole world versus Leonard. We still respect Roberto Duran like a dude that got big cojones. Even if he quit, he said no mas in front of the whole world. So let's stop shrinking our sport. Earl Spence and Vergil was a good fight. Vergil Ortiz and Jamel Charlo was a big fight. Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz is a great fight. This is 154. That's why I love this division. You can mix and match it, and it's big fight, and we don't know what may happen. Let's get back to man hating machine shields. Hating machine shields. If this if this fight doesn't happen now, Ortiz and Ennis is gonna be in 5 years. Well, let it. Hey, we, yo, it's too many fights. I don't even care because I love to see me. I don't know about y'all. See me. I don't know about. I've been loving the 154-pound division because if Virgil says I'm fighting Ennis, that's why I put it on Twitter. I said Boots, I'm sorry, I said Virgil Ortiz versus Earl Spence. And in the co-main event, you got Boots Ennis versus Jamel Charlo. And in the third field, you got Kid Austin versus Jojo Diaz. Tell me that's not a good fight, a good event. Tell me that's not a good event. And the winner, remember, I've been the one that been talking about a tournament in the 154-pound division for how long? I've been talking about a tournament in the 154-pound division for how long? Y'all know I've been supporting Jamel Charlo for how many years in this community? And a lot of people were shitting on Jamel Charlo. By shitting on Jamel Charlo because he was the top dog, everybody was shitting on the division. Now everybody's talking about the division I've been talking about since day one. Boxing Talk with a $10 super chat. Good looking out, my brother. Appreciate you, bro. He said, nah, Punch, this fight gotta happen. Is the biggest fight in the sport. Spence ain't fought in 3 years. We need the young lions to fight. Let Charlo and Spence and Thurman mix it up. That fight is now. What I'm boxing talk, my brother. What I'm talking about is I'm good with Boots and versus Virgil, but I'm also good with Earl Spence and Virgil. I'm going at people that's trying to knock the fight. This is a stacked division. Sometimes you know what I also think, boxing talk, that when we're in this community, right, the YTBC, we think that YouTube is everything. We think that YouTube is the fan, is boxing itself. There's a lot of people that don't be on YouTube. There's a lot of fan bases that don't be on YouTube. We're looking very tunnel vision right now. Nah, I don't want to see no Earl Spence. I'd rather see Boots. I'd rather see it all. I'd rather see it all. Why are we acting like this is not a good fight? And okay, he hasn't been in the ring in 3 years. These fighters don't fight enough anyway. Nobody got an edge. Like all these fighters is basically inactive compared to the compared to this era of boxing. Now, ain't nobody was talking about. See, that's what I'm talking about. That we can't be hypocrites because for how many years was Sugar Ray Leonard retired? He came right back and beat Hagler in the middleweight division. But then we want these fighters to be fighting like back in the days. We want these fighters to be like the fighters back in the days, and now we shitting on them. Come on, man. Come on. Give me a second, y'all. Shout out to Boxing Talk. No need to marinate this, bro. The time is now because if it's not, just call Ennis Demetrius Andre. Because honestly, Ortiz could fight Spence, then Charlo, then Zayas, then Fundura, then wind up never fighting the Boots. Hold on, we're going to be talking about that. But to put it this way, Boxing Talk. Is that a problem? Is that a bigger fight? Is that a most accomplishable fight? Time out, Boxing Talk. Time out, Boxing Talk, because Boxing Talk, you know very, very well. I'm the only one in this community that brings up Demetrius Andre. And guess what? I get shitted on every time I bring him up. I get shitted on when I say, what about Demetrius Andre and Triple G when he walked in and he shook his hand? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. What about when I talk about the Andre versus Canelo Alvarez? Nobody in this community cares. Everybody shits on Punch Drunk Boxing. Shut the F up. Stop talking about Boo Boo, yo. Stop talking about Boo Boo. He never fought nobody. He should have never dug Charlo. Isn't that what people tell me? Let's be real, let's be honest. Isn't that what people tell Punch Drum Boxing about my boy Demetrius Andre? Yo, he should have never dug Jamel Charlo. Who cares? Who cares? Jerome Boost Ennis. What I said, I did a video and I said the biggest mistake Jerome Boost Ennis did was Doug Vergil Ortiz because it's a stacked division. That opportunity may never come back around. Thus, Demetrius Andre. Sometimes you do a mistake in the sport of boxing that doesn't come back around, ladies and gentlemen. David Benavidez got stripped twice at 168-pound division, folks. Boxing Talk with a $20 super chat. De lo mío. Boxing Talk, God bless you, my brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, donating to the channel and helping the channel out, man. I appreciate you, my brother. The Spence fight will always be there. If the fight don't happen now, and his career will be like Andre. But how many videos I did Boxing Talk about that? How many videos I did about it? How many? I did a couple of lives, couple of videos. Nobody cared. Yo, Boxing Talk. Look at the comment section of those videos. Yo, Punch, you the only one that talking about the Mise Andre, man. He ain't shit. He a bum, whatever. Fighting mandatories. I'm gonna be honest. If Ortiz beats Ennis, then everyone else he's bigger than Canelo. I'm gonna put it like this, my brother, and this is why I had the thumbnail. Let me put the thumbnail again so people can understand what I'm trying to say, because I think it's deeper. Hold on. Vergil Ortiz was lined up to fight Jerome Booth, and Vergil Ortiz was lined up to fight Bud Crawford before the WBO mandated Sean Porter, who came out of nowhere in the rankings of the WBO. Not even Sean Porter. He said it on live TV. I didn't even know I was a mandatory to Bud Crawford. Vergil Ortiz got politically moved, right? Vergil Ortiz was lined up to fight Bud Crawford in the welterweight division. But things didn't happen. But you know what Vergil Ortiz has done? If you haven't noticed, look at the screen. Bud Crawford went through his little hiccups with the meme machine. Vergil Ortiz got that fight. What he did to the meme machine. Bud Crawford has a little hiccup with Mazurmov. Well, let's say Errol Spence. Look what he did to Errol Spence. Look what he did to Mazurmov. And now Vergil Ortiz won Errol Spence. Vergil Ortiz, if he fights Errol Spence and beats Errol Spence like Terrence Bud Crawford did, ladies and gentlemen, Vergil Ortiz road leads to Bud Crawford. As much as we want this Boots and Vergil, I said the worst thing that Boots did was to duck Vergil Ortiz. Almost like the worst thing that David Benavidez did was eat too much Butterfingers. The worst thing that Boots did was duck Vergil Ortiz. Because Vergil Ortiz, if he fights Errol Spence and beats Errol Spence like Bud Crawford did, or even better, outperforms Bud like he did the Madrimov fight, outperform. Now, I'm not going to say outperform him, but the meme machine, I like that. I like his performance as well. They went through, both Bud Crawford and Vergil Ortiz went through adversity with the meme machine, but two spectacular finishes. We're going to be talking about Vergil Ortiz versus Bud Crawford. It's going to be too good and it's going to be too lethal that if Vergil Ortiz takes out Errol Spence in lesser, just like if he did Lubin, can you imagine if Vergil Ortiz takes out Errol Spence in the second round? We're going to be talking about Vergil Ortiz versus Bud Crawford. You know why? Why you think Bud Crawford got the opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez? Is what he did to Errol Spence. Bud Crawford became superhuman because what he did to Errol Spence. Vergil Ortiz dismantles Errol Spence. And you know what we're going to be talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, who did Turkey Al Sheikh said after Terrence Bud Crawford, after Terrence Bud Crawford almost wet the bed versus Mazurmov, almost lost to Mazurmov. And Turkey Al Sheikh had an interview after the fight. Which name did he say? Who did he mention? Hold on, folks. Give me a second. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second. Got you right here, folks. Yo, let me know if y'all hear me. Hold on. Yo, let me know if y'all hear me. Let me take this thing out of the way so I could check my show. Yo. Just give me a yes. Give me a yes. Coda in the building. Rap Star Boxing Knowledge in the building. Let me know. Give me a yes. Give me a yes or no. Boxing Talk say you absolutely right. And what you said will come to pass. That's why this fight has to happen now. I understand that Boxing Talk. Trust me, I understand that. But that's why I said that Boots Ennis did a big mistake. Ortiz beating Ennis in his prime, then Spence, Charles, Xander, Zayas, will be better than Canelo. We don't know yet because even if Vergil Ortiz beat Boots Ennis in his prime, and then Boots Ennis loses a couple of fights here and there and never establish a real legacy, then him beating Errol Spence will be better than him beating Boots Ennis. It has to. I believe it's going to have to age well as well. Because what is the legacy of Jerome Boots Ennis right now? Yeah, he a unified champion, but he beat Stenionis. He didn't beat the Thurmans, the Garcias, the Porters, the Spence, the Crawfords. He didn't get it like that. His resume is very, very suspect. Very, very suspect. Like Boots and his resume is nothing to brag about. But Earl Spence's resume is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. But let me add this. Let me add this. Let me add this. If Virgil Ortiz fights Earl Spence, you know who been wanting to see Virgil Ortiz versus Terrence Book Crawford? Did you remember this? Turkey Al Sheikh arrives to watch Saturday night's Virgil Ortiz versus Boachuk junior middleweight bout and said he would like to see Ortiz take a victory and fight newly crowned title holder Terrence Bud Crawford. He did a post-fight interview after the Bud Crawford fight versus Madrimov, and Turkey Al Sheikh did not mention Canelo because it looked like a suspect victory. He wanted Virgil Ortiz. I don't want Virgil to fight Bud Crawford if Canelo doesn't want it. That was the mega fight for Bud Crawford for Turkey Al Sheikh. That was the mega fight for Turkey Al Sheikh for Bud Crawford if he couldn't deliver the Canelo Alvarez fight for Bud. So, ladies and gentlemen, as much that we want to see this fight, as much that this is a nice prime fight, ladies and gentlemen, Virgil Ortiz in the business of boxing fighting Earl Spence is bigger. And if Virgil Ortiz dismantle another comparable and relatable opponent of Terrence Bud Crawford, let's not forget that Terrence Bud Crawford was out there cheering on Maurice Hooker. And Virgil Ortiz took him out. And Bud Crawford was saying that he was going to lose to Maurice Hooker. He took out Mean Machine. He took out Majimov. Not took him out, but he did better than Bud Crawford versus Majimov. And then let's see, let's if he outperforms Earl's the beating up Errol Spence, ladies and gentlemen, it will be Virgil versus Bud. It will be Virgil versus Bud. And then it will be Virgil Ortiz daring to be great. Sorry, folks. Boots should have took the opportunity when he had it because he's in a stacked division. Y'all want to call it a duck, in my opinion, is a fight that I've been talking about. It's a fight that I want to see. But what Virgil Ortiz is at right now with the last three performances, and he gets Earl Spence in Dallas Stadium, pay-per-view, 60 plus thousand people. We're going to be talking about Virgil versus Bud, bro. Whether people like it or not, we're going to be talking about Virgil Ortiz versus Bud Crawford. And y'all going to watch. Y'all going to be like, nah, fuck that, no. I want to see it fight. I want to see it. Nah, bro, I'm telling you. You're going to see the wave. Just like we never was talking about no Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez before the Earl Spence fight. We're going to be talking about Virgil versus Bud heavily if that fight with Earl Spence take place. Boxing Talk in the building with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. God bless you. Que Dios te bendiga, mi hermano. Punch, we got to push for this fight. I'm going to push for this fight. This is our era. Tito Trinidad, Oscar de la Hoya, Ray Leonard Duran, Leonard Benitez, but Ortiz is a true 50-50. Canelo never had that. This is Canelo fighting Andre at 60. I want the fight, Boxing Talk. But I'm just telling you, we in a division that it doesn't matter. If Vergil Ortiz decides to fight Errol Spence, it's still gonna be a huge fight, a huge event. And you know what was gonna make it a more of an event is that at the same time is the return of Errol Spence. The return of Errol Spence is still a lucrative event with or without Vergil Ortiz. If Errol Spence makes a return to fight Tim Zoo, everybody gonna be watching. You understand? That's how much big of a fight because it's still a return of Errol Spence. Whether people like him or not, whether people are fans of him, whether people in this community have this smear campaign on PBC and PBC fighters, oh, he's been retired, he's damaged goods. Let's talk for real. If the Errol Spence return is still a huge event with or without Vergil Ortiz. But with Vergil Ortiz in Dallas, Texas, who we saw Vergil Ortiz 2 days before his fight? Jerry Jones. He was chilling with Jerry Jones. Who Jerry Jones loved? Errol Spence. Jerry Jones will be promoting this fight more than the Boots and Vergil Ortiz. I'm being realistic. Spence versus Lubin next. Nah. Spence is going to go to training camp, and he's going to go to training camp to fight either Vergil, a Charlo, maybe Boots, the winner of Fundura and Thurman. Yo, let me tell you like this: Earl Spence still calls shots. Let's not forget that it was supposed to be Bud Crawford versus Fundura. And what did Earl Spence say? Nah, you ain't getting that fight. I'm getting it. And what happened? Earl Spence called shots. You forgot? You forgot how we got the Earl Spence versus Bud Crawford? That even PBC wanted Earl Spence to fight Thurman. And what did Earl Spence do? Shit, I'm gonna reward Earl Spence. If it wasn't for Earl Spence, we never would have had Crawford versus Earl Spence. Let's not forget that. He went against the company. He went against the grain. If it wasn't for Earl Spence, we never would have had no Bud versus Earl Spence. And if we never would have had Earl Spence versus Bud, we never would have had Bud versus Canelo. Earl Spence came out of a car accident and gave us Danny Garcia. Then after that, gave us a Ugas, and he was going to give us Manny Pacquiao. I'm sorry, man. I got to give him credit for that. I got to give him credit for that. Why would you want a fighter like that written off if he's a guy that really don't duck? Virgil asking Spence for help. Help me, please. I don't want to fight Boots. Get the fuck out of here. Boots duck Virgil. Y'all want to change the narrative. I don't know why y'all so eager to change the narrative. I'm not sure why y'all so eager in changing the narrative. Y'all should be mad that y'all should be mad that we got Virgil Ortiz versus Boachuk or Virgil Ortiz versus Madrimal. We should have had Virgil versus Boots, but Boots ducked. And I gotta feel sorry? No. I'm not feeling sorry. Just like if let's say Devin Haney, if Devin Haney beats Brian Oman Jr. and then Teofimo Lopez want to say, well, I want to fight Devin Haney right now. I want to move up. Sorry, I can't even push that because you dug Devin Haney. You had the opportunity. I can't say, oh, Devin Haney is Devin Haney didn't want to fight Tio. Nah, Tio opportunity. Good luck in our boxing talk with a $10 super chat. My brother said, I've been thinking about this. We need the young lions to go at it. Ortiz versus Ennis, Mason versus Schofield, Spence, Thurman, Charlo, Zayas, Ortiz Sr. or Junior, you mean, look like they don't want Ennis. No need, my brother. I don't understand. How can you say that the Ortiz doesn't want Ennis when they signed for the fight boxing talk? Why y'all changing the narrative? Yo, to me, for me, this looked more like a promo op to me. Oh, let's get this money. Let's get this money. Virgil T's looking at Boost. Can I get a yes? Does that mean you can I get a yes? Because you had the money on the table already. No Boost signed for the fight. No Boost signed for the Charlo and Zion, different generation. Read the one before. Hold on, give me a second. Come on, man. I want to see the fight. What I'm telling y'all is don't get mad. We cannot get mad. We got to be hardcore boxing fans, man. Let's stop shrinking on sport. Vergil versus Boots. Boots versus Xander Zayas. Boots versus the winner of Josh Kelly and Bakwan. Boots versus Charlo. They all good fight, even with Boots. We should be happy, bro. This community should be like, yo, shit. Oh man, if we can't get Vergil and Boots, shit. Hey yo, Jamel Charlo and Boots was going at it. That's a good fight. Y'all mad at that fight? Y'all telling me that y'all ain't gonna support Vergil versus Errol Spence and then Boots versus Jamel Charlo? And put it this way: if Boots fight Jamel, let's put it this way, ladies and gentlemen. If Boots fights Jamel, and let's say Jamel loses to Boots, then Boots have the bragging right to say, I actually beat the real man at 154. Because nobody took his crown. I actually beat the last reigning king at 154. Let's say if Thurman beats Fundura, and then Virgil Ortiz and his team says, we want Vergil versus Thurman after the Fundura fight. Y'all telling me y'all gonna be like, nah, man. No, man. No, we gotta see Boots versus Virgil, man. No, man. No, man. Y'all bugging, bro. And I know why some people are bugging, because I know in this community, nobody was talking about the 154-pound division like me. Because a lot of people in this community was hearing on Jamel Charlo. And a lot of people saying, ain't nobody in that division. Ain't nobody in that division. That division is suck. It got no name. I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to give him credit. As soon as Bud Crawford went, as soon as Bud Crawford went to 154, and he looked at ordinary, that was the day that y'all started realizing that 154 is a landmark division. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Boxing Talk with a $10 super chat. My brother con los 10 pesos a comprar un buffet para la familia. Yo, good looking out, Boxing Talk. Appreciate you, man. Then Ennis is gonna get froze down. This is De La Hoya versus Mosley. This will be like Haney saying he don't gotta fight Tio because he will have options. Tio and Ennis will be one of the same froze out. They might be. They might be. But see, Boxing Talk, you know I've been saying that. For how many months and weeks I've been like, damn, man, I didn't want my boy Tio to do that, yo. Damn, Tio, why you did that, man? Damn, Tio should have never, man. And now look, Tio haven't been back in the ring the whole year. Hopefully they lock already that fight with Shakur Stevenson. That fight happened January and stuff like that. But yo, we all know he was on a limbo. Yo, when you have the money that they put in front of you and they got a good fight, yo, Turkey Al Sheikh put money on the table for Jerome Bruce Ennis to fight Vergil Ortiz, then to fight Teofimo Lopez. It's like Jerome Bruce Ennis got a problem with Turkey. He don't want to take my money. Turkey Al Sheikh said, no, you the one turn up. You do that fight with Eddie. Go to the interview with the boxing voice. He said, you the one charity. I'm no charity. I ain't no charity, Chris. Let me see if I can find that article when he said no charity. Let me see. Also, let's read what Virgil Ortiz manager Rick said yesterday or this morning. Jerome Booth Ennis, I never talk crazy. You mistake the facts for craziness. We always respected your talent and skill and you. I just call out the bullshit. When your people lie and you allowed a lot of people to lie around you, at the end of the day, you're the boss. You never sent me an offer or our team like your person said on the video, and that's why your side could never produce one. You called Virgil out and Eddie as well at your own press conference on a video, and I was in rehab and went in the room, and 30 minutes later to my team and made a real deal, and they said yes, and you said no. That's the facts. Where the craziness in that? You say you're going to beat him in 3 rounds over and over, and it won't be competitive. And then you go fight the night manager at Geno's in Philly. Hey yo, hey yo, Rick is funny. Yo, um well in Philly. What did I say crazy at any point? We got an offer from His Excellency in February, and you did also, and we said yes with not another word, but just yes. And then you declined it. Fight one of them guys that I honestly can't remember or anyone else. Where is the craziness? Am I lying? And we did is respond to the lies with facts. So save the talking crazy narrative. Why Jerome Booth Ennis didn't reply on that one? And we all know Booth dug. But anyway, fuck it. That's the past. We want to see Booth versus Virgil, right? We want to see that fight. I want to see it. We all want to see it. We want to see this fight. All I'm saying that I hope that Jerome Booth Ennis is serious. I hope that this just was not a promo op, a photo op, a video op. I hope that Jerome Booth is not using this opportunity to just say I want Virgil Ortiz. So every time he fights these whack fights, we have to be subjected to these fights because we have the anticipation for a possible Virgil Ortiz versus Jerome Booth Ennis. Because in the end of the day, that's what could possibly happen. That they just using this as a video promo op, and then Jerome Booth ended decide to fight somebody else, but then we're gonna have to watch it because it's like, yo, man, there's an anticipation of the fight, just like fucking Bud Crawford fight David Evanesia. But let's push for this fight. But we could push for the fight, but we need to push Jerome Booth Ennis to keep his word. You shook on it. You step inside a ring, or you going to sign for the fight. Because all Vergil was talking about was the fight. Boost was talking about, let's get this money, let's get this money. You just doing it for the money, you doing it for the glory, you doing it for the legacy, or you doing it to there to be great? What are you doing it for? Because that's what all Boost was talking about. Let's get this money. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the money. Let's get this money, man. Just get the money. Let's get this money. Let's get this money out. But we already have enough people trying to be Floyd Mayweather, bro. That wasn't Boots. I did not meet Boots like this, bro. This money shit got into his head, bro. These contracts. He's acting like a person that's not even hit. You know what Boots was all about? Boots used to be tweeting and going to church on Sundays and always preaching about God. And now all he's doing preaching about money now. Let's get this money. Let's get this money. I've been following Boots since the beginning, bro. He's a dude that's a good dude, Christian, go to church, always put God out of his sleeve. And ever since he got these little contracts now, this guy now he's desperate trying to be another Floyd Mayweather. Stop it, Boots. Come on, man. This ain't true, bro. This wasn't the guy I've been supporting, bro. Switching up. Next thing we're gonna see is Jerome Boots Ennis giving it to Israel like Floyd Mayweather in his recent video. Just look at the comments hating on Virgil. It's the other side hating because if Mexican is coming up, well, Bud is old, but he never. I mean, yeah, they could use this race thing, but at the end of the day, they're gonna promote it like that anyway. So F it. I just hope that Jerome Bruce Ennis don't wear a sombrero and don't come up with a Marachi band or whatever you want to call it and stuff like that. I hope that yesterday what we seen, I think is the end of it. I think is outdated, is watered down, is outplayed. I'm tired of the black fighters when they fight the Mexicans coming with the Mexican colors, man. Just rock your color, man. Be you, rock you. You know what I'm saying? This, which one? This one. You absolutely right. You said it's boxing talk. You said you absolutely right. What you said is coming to pass. That's why we got to push for the fight before. Okay, I read that one right. Fundura then because the smart play is for Ortiz to fight Spence, Charlos, Xander, Zayas, Fundura, then go for Bud. Legacy is Boots. I don't know yet. We've been talking about this fight, but is Virgil lined up? Is he lining up? Look at his career right now. Because it's not like Tio and Haney, right? Tio and Haney was in a collision course. Tio and Haney was lined up to fight each other. And that's why there was a lot of people out there that was mad because we've been promoting that fight for 5, 6 years. They've been going at it. They've been talking about each other for a while, right? Virgil Ortiz, to be honest, his lineup, and this is why I put this on the thumbnail. He's lining himself up for Bud. He's not lining himself for Virgil. They could have been a collision course in the welterweight division. But guess what? We could have got there a long time ago. See, Boots gave Virgil Ortiz more options. He should have took the fight. Just like many people felt Demetrius Andre should have took the fight with Charlo. And that let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question now, because y'all like to throw it to my face. Did Demetrius Andre not fighting Jamel Charlo at 154 haunted his whole career? Yes or no? Did Demetrius Andre not fighting Jamel Charlo, like I always bring it up? Every time I say, well, they ducking Demetrius Andre, yeah, I bring, but he ducked Jamel Charlo, he ducked motherfuckers too. That messed up his affiliation, the potential partnership with PBC. The Charlo brothers, Jamal Charlo and Jamel Charlo, did an IG live and said that we're blackballing Demetrius Andre. Canelo Alvarez ain't want to face him. Triple G didn't want to face him. Lara was with PBC, so they wasn't gonna give nothing to Demetrius Andre. Take it or leave it deal. We'll give you David Benavidez. There you go. I'm telling you. What if I was Jerome Booth Ennis and Eddie Hearn? If Eddie Hearn is for real, for real, for real. If Eddie Hearn was for real, for real, for real. Ladies and gentlemen, did we hear Turkey Al Sheikh even mention this fight? You know why maybe? Because Turkey Al Sheikh maybe felt already disrespected by Jerome Booth Ennis by declining the fight with Vergil Ortiz and Teofimo Lopez. Turkey Al Sheikh had to rearrange plans because of Jerome Booth Ennis' change of heart. But you know what? What did Jerome Booth Ennis say yesterday post-fight interview? He said, Eddie Hearn, go get the paper. Go get the paperwork. So guess what? We want to see Eddie Hearn Matchroom Boxing serve the paperwork to Vergil Ortiz. Because that's what Jerome Booth Ennis said yesterday. We talk about the what was exchanged, right? Shaking of the hand, right? He looked back at Eddie Hearn. Yeah, get the paperwork. Easy. Both these guys are on the zone. Both promoters are willing to work with one another. This is the fight that you want. Let's see the offer. Let's see the offer. Boxing talk with a $10 super chat. Good looking out, man. Hey yo, match that. Hey yo, match the energy. Who's gonna match that supportive energy by Boxing Talk? Don't let him be the only one supporting the channel, folks. Come on now. Don't let him be the only one. Appreciate you, brother. He said, off topic. What's up with Mayweather video? That was weird. And Boost do look like he's playing a character. He is, bro. He is. Hey yo, go check my interview with Jerome Boost Ennis 5 years ago. Go check out Jerome Boost Ennis, how he used to talk, and well, he barely talked back then. That's why they used to be like, hey yo, we thank you, Punch Drunk Boxing, because your interviews with him is going to make him feel more comfortable when he gets big. I was doing an interview with him when he's doing show box and stuff like that. But like I said yesterday, in Washington D.C., and he told the valet parker, man, hurry up, get my motherfucking car, man. Hurry the F up. I said, man, yo, damn, Boots. Yo, I thought that Boots was a real, real humble cat, bro. Like, I don't know, maybe the fame got to his head. Maybe the energy of, I'm like, wow, wow. Like, I don't know, man. I don't, when people are service, like, I'm a person that I appreciate those people that valet park and that buzz boys, waitresses, service workers. Like we all humans, man. Motherfuckers told the dude, man, he's trying to move all the cars. Yo, hurry, move my motherfucking car, hurry the F up. I said, man, I don't like that. I don't like that shit. I hope the if that dude, that valet parking dude would have hit him with the car, I would have been like, man, he had every right. No one is gonna give fight boots if Virgil don't. He will be on Dre fighting nobody. This is too big. Might happen. Hey, your boxing talking might happen. I didn't hear you tell that story. Oh, I said it yesterday. I said it yesterday. I said it before, but I said it in lives. I never did a video about it. He said Boots is officially the boogeyman at 154. Vergil made it official, asking for $10 million. I don't know about that, bro. He's gonna get $10 million fighting Errol Spence. Mark my words. See, I could cry all y'all want. I ain't crying. This is 154. This is my favorite division. Stack them up. If Vergil Ortiz doesn't fight Boots, then we going with then who y'all want to see Boots fight? If Vergil Ortiz don't fight Boots, then Boots fight. If he fights Earl Spence, then Boots fight Jamel Charlo. Jamel Charlo went to his face. Why we ain't talking about that fight too? This is a stacked division, folks. This is boxing. This is a sport. You guys act like every game, the dudes that played in the final play each other all the time. Hey, yo, the Knicks sometimes play a bum ass team or mid team or an elite team. It's a sport, bro. But 154, you stack them up 1 through 13, 1 through 15. Come on, man. You think I'm gonna cry that I ain't seen Boots and Vergil? But I could now if Vergil doesn't fight Boots and Vergil fights somebody like Blair Cobbs, then yeah, I'm gonna be tight. Yeah, I'm gonna be tight. That would be like, damn, Vergil, you looking for Blair Cobbs? But looking at Vergil Ortiz's track record and his last 3 opponents, we all know that he ain't taking nothing easy. That shit was yesterday. That shit was easy, but it wasn't supposed to be easy. It wasn't going. I didn't think it was going to be 2 rounds knockout. We all know that Lubin got some skills. I didn't think that he was going to overcome being hurt by Vergil Ortiz. I had Vergil Ortiz winning, but shit, that was a statement victory at 154. See money in the building with the $5 super chat. Good looking out, man. Yeah, hoping out boxing talk, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Appreciate you, man. God bless you. He said, yo, PBC used fighting on their side of the street. Excuse to duck Bud. Virgil and Boots ducked Bud. Bud is only going to fight legacy and money fights. I don't think that Bud ducked Boots, and I don't think that Bud ducked Virgil. Because in the end of the day, the fight that we wanted and the most meaningful fight in the welterweight division was Bud versus Spence. So I don't think there was somebody we wasn't holding Bud nor Spence highly accountable not to fight Boots and not to fight Bud. So I don't think this was I don't think Bud duck either. We the boxing world, the legacy, the money, everything was riding on Bud versus Spence. So nah. So you have Virgil fighting a guy who hasn't been. I don't give a fuck how he hasn't been in the ring. He's Earl Spence. Just like I don't care if Bud was out the ring for 2 3 years and he want to come back. I don't care. Manny Pacquiao came out the ring. I want to see if Floyd Mayweather said I'm coming back to fight Virgil Ortiz. Y'all gonna be like, man, why Virgil Ortiz is fighting a guy that hasn't been back in the ring? Man, please, this is a come on, stop acting. We ain't talking about a bum. So what? We acted like these fighters don't fight enough anyway. These fighters don't fight enough anyway, man. We're not used to these guys fighting. Oh, two man, a guy missing 2 years, he's just missing a fight or two. Come on, man. How many years did Gary Russell miss? He looked good in his last fight. How many years did Keith Thurman miss? He looked good in his last fight. So what? Listen, folks. Listen, folks. All right, all right. For the people that just tuning in right now, I am not justifying Virgil Ortiz not to fight Boots. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what I've been saying for years. But now that more people understand the 154-pound division because now they see names that they're familiar with, I've been saying this. It's not that I don't want to see Virgil. I would love that fight. I've been talking about that fight longer than probably most people in this community. This been has been my division. When nobody was talking about 154, I'm talking about 154. Now that everybody now is all in sync to talk about 154, I'm not saying that Boots and Virgil should not fight. Yeah, I see people in the comment section trying to justify, oh, but you want to see a guy for 2 years? It's Earl Spence versus Virgil. Y'all also have to understand the sport and the business. The business and the sport go hand in hand, but more the business. You know what the business handlers are looking at? Spence and Bud. I'm sorry, Spence versus Virgil in Dallas, Texas, in the stadium. Where did we have Mike Tyson's versus Jake Paul? That's that event on Vegas in Vegas or in Dallas because Jerry Jones it has a lot of money. If Jerry Jones want to put his money into the sport of boxing and say, "Bring me this to my stadium," Golden Boy promotion is on, the Zone is gonna be on, and they're gonna put that PBC and Al Heyman. They all going all hands on deck, bro. And if Virgil Ortiz beats Earl Spence worse than Buck Crawford beat Earl Spence, come on, you guys ain't. Some of you guys are just like y'all slave to one fight in a stacked division. That don't make no sense, folks. You cannot be a slave to one fight in a stacked division. That's why a stacked division is a stacked division. And if you don't, if you just, oh man, I don't want to see, I don't want to see a fight, bro. Oh yeah, y'all acting like yo. Some of y'all acting like really like a real like real betas, bro. Verbally saying yes to fights is different than actual signing a contract that presented it to you. Yeah, they had a contract on the table. He dug and his duck and his duck. There was no contract for Bud to fight Virgil, and there was no contract for Bud to fight Boots. But there was a contract for Boots to fight Virgil. There was a contract for Tio to fight Haney. So I kept it unbiased, logically, and objectively. I kept it gully. Just like people know me, I support Tio. I could tell Tio even on the interview, me like when he say yo punch, you could call me a duck, man. It's a duck, bruh. It is what it is. I know there's layers to why things happen, but at the end of the day, in boxing, it is what it is. And I have to keep it consistent with my boy, and I have to keep it consistent with the Virgil Ortiz and Boost in the situation. Boost Duck Virgil, Boost Duck Tio, Tio Duck Haney, Brian Oman Jr. Duck Boots. Let's keep it on bossy, logically, and objectively. We all grown men out here. Ain't none of these fighters giving us no, ain't paying mortgages and shit like that. Let's keep it gutty. I know no fighters over here. We don't have to hold no fighters' hands. These fighters don't give a damn about us in the end of the day. We all grown men out here. Some of y'all got kids, some of y'all got grandkids. Stop capping for these fighters like that. You could hold the fight. You could give a fighter a benefit of the doubt because he did some great shit, and that's what I do. I will give Usyk the benefit of the doubt. I will give Bud the benefit of the doubt. I will give Canelo the benefit of the doubt. I will give Eno Uwe the benefit of the doubt. I will give Teofimo Lopez the benefit of the doubt. I will give Errol Spence the benefit of the doubt. I will give Thurman the benefit of the doubt. I will give the benefit of the doubt to fight. I will give Bam Rodriguez the benefit of the doubt. I'll look at their resume, the accomplishment, and see what they've done in the sport of boxing. But right now, for Boots Ennis to be almost 30 years old, 35, 36 fights in, and still we're like, you still passing the eye test. No, I'm not giving Boots Ennis the benefit of the doubt. You was in no, you shouldn't never duck Vergil. You should never duck Ortiz. You should never duck those type of fights. Get a name in already. Get somebody that's gonna really test it. Because I agree with the likes of Andre Ward. He said what I've been saying for a while now. I'm tired of saying all these years, Boots look good, but Boots look special. Motherfucker, do something special now. That's it. We keep on talking like he passed the eye test. That's it. For how long are we? That's 35 fights in already. Punch, you making sense. Boxing Talk with the $10 super chat says, yo, Punch, my brother, you making sense, but I want this fight. I want it too. The best move is for Ortiz to put Ennis on the back burner. But if he knock off Ennis, he could become the face of boxing. Dan, only non-duck is Haney. If Virgil Ortiz beats Boots, it will be incredible for this era. But you know what? Just like we did to certain fighters, in the end of the day, we were going to say, damn, but then who Boots really beat? Think about it. Think about it. It will just be like when Canelo Alvarez, people were shaming Canelo Alvarez to fight David Benavidez, and at the time, all he had was Anthony Durrell. Canelo Alvarez beat David Benavidez. Let's just say before the plan, before the Andre, before the Alexandre, before the David Morrell. Then when we dial in, almost like what we did to Bud, heating us to the Canelo Alvarez. Who did he beat? Victor Post, who did he beat? I want to see the fight. I'm just saying that if Virgil, if Virgil fights the winner of Fundura versus Thurman, let's say if Thurman beats Fundura, will Virgil Ortiz get more credit beating Boots or Keith Thurman? And that's what I'm saying. For the moment, it's a great fight. For the moment, I love all these fights at 154. Paperwork, both. Let me see what people saying. Tank, your mom's a duck. Push. What's up, rap star? I think people have a hard time understanding that fighter. Let me open up the panels. Let's talk. Let's open up the panels. I want to hear the people. Let's open up the panels. Let me know what y'all think. I think there's a good debate. I think it's a good debate, good dialogue. You know what I'm saying? We could talk. We could chop it up. Chop it up. Anybody want to be on the panel? Let's chop it up. Let's see if we could turn this to a good dialogue because all these fights is good. I'm just look at the faces, y'all. Even if Errol Spence says I'm coming, I want to fight Xander Zayas, good fight. The winner of Josh Kelly versus Bakram fights the winner of Fundura and Thurman, good fight. If Fundura says, you know what, I don't want to fight Thurman, that postponement, I want to fight a unification bout with Xander Zayas, good fight. I won't even knock Fundura. Would you knock Fundura if he says, you know what, I don't want to fight Thurman, let me go after Xander Zayas? Mexican, Puerto Rican. Come on now. If Boots can't get Virgil, but Boots says, yo, Jamel Charlo, let's fight. If Boots can't get Virgil and Boots says, I want to fight the winner from Fundura and Thurman, If Boots fight Earl Spence and Virgil fight Jamel Charlo, how about that? If Boots fight Earl Spence in Dallas and Virgil fights Charlo, y'all gonna get mad? It's so many good fights. I can't get mad. I can't get mad. I'll be watching, I'll be paying, I'll be happy, bro. But it has to be these names. Eddie will never make Boots versus Ben. You know what I think is gonna happen? Since Matchroom Boxing took over the Josh Kelly versus Bakram, I think that Eddie Hearn does see a lucrative fight. I really think I'm saying it right now. I know a lot of people gonna disagree because they feel like Bakram is a boogeyman. I haven't seen Bakram do anything incredible. If y'all was hyping up Tim Zoo, that was on y'all. I think that Josh Kelly, if he keeps his defense up, minimize the showboat and a little bit of stuff like that, and just has his have you know just be disciplined. I think Josh Kelly's gonna upset Bakram, and then I do believe that Conor Ben is gonna be Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Ben goes back to 154, and they'll have a title shot in the UK with Josh Kelly versus Conor Ben, because that's been a fight that also been talked about for a long time. So many fights, man. Give me a second. Said PBC protected Thurman from Fundora. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. Yo, yo. Why is it not my letting me? It's not letting me. What's big? What's dealing out with the tennis? I don't know what happened. It's not letting me. Um, what's big is them in the ring. Boost to the show, it wouldn't be a big deal. Seeing them face to face made. Let me read it again. Go look at our boxing talk. I put it on the screen now. What's making it big is them being in the ring together. If boosted the show, it wouldn't be a big deal. But seeing them face to face made it a big moment. Haney don't duck no one. Gotta give him props. Gotta give Devin Haney props. It's no more. You notice ain't no more heavily criticized on Devin Haney. I don't give a damn. He ain't no heavily criticized. That's it, man. He made my guy not pick up the fight. I can't say nothing about Devin Haney no more, man. I don't give a damn. I'm breaking up. I'm breaking up. Can't hear you. Y'all can hear me? Yes or no? The last boost was damaging to this brand. Y'all can hear me or no? It was forced fight. You're clear now. Good looking out. Okay. Much better. Good looking out. Good looking out. Placement. What's going on? Can't even see. Let's see. Let me read the people. So damn, man. This thing is slacking right now. But yeah, man, there's a great division. I think everybody's hyped for this division. It was a little bit of a hiccup because, of course, we saw, we didn't get this from Dura versus Thurman, but the 154-pound division would have been even more lit. You know what I'm saying? Follow up with the Boots Ennis, one knockout. And you know what? If we do get the Boots and Vergil Ortiz fight, let's make it in February. Let's make this fight now. Let's make this fight now. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that Eddie Hearn should let Vergil Ortiz breathe. I don't think Eddie Hearn should let Vergil Ortiz even have options. I think it's time to really, if they really want Vergil, I think they have to go full blown PR and really entice and disrespect Vergil Ortiz to get this fight because Vergil Ortiz got too many options. Well, Boots has got options as well, but if they willing to pay those options, because they was trying to lowball Josh Kelly, and Josh Kelly even told me that I got way more money what Turkey Ashe gave me on his card than what Matchroom was trying to give me to go to Philly and stuff like that. That was a completely slap in the face. It's breaking up again. I wish Crawford and Vergil would fight, but it would be unnecessary risk for Bud. Who cares? Who cares? That's not our job to say what's risky and unnecessary. We're not here to hold nobody's hands. We're not here to hold nobody's hands. We're just here to see fights. We're here to be entertained. The riskier the better. The riskier the better. But I think that Boots Ennis and his team and Matchroom Boxing will have to go full blown insulting him. Y'all remember Apollo? Shane in the building. Shane, gifted one punch wrong boxing membership. Good now, Shane. It's a shame. The rhythm of busting up. It's a shame. Hershey's. It's a shame. Good looking out, Shane Colkin. How you been, bro? Thank you for the support, man. Appreciate you, man. But this is a look. Again, I think that Boost Edwards will have to do what Apollo Creed did to Rocky in Rocky 2. You remember Apollo Creed said, man, we gotta come with a promotion. We need to get him in the ring. We need to do anything to get him in the ring. Or just like Duke in Rocky 5, like Duke told Tommy Gunn, you gotta get him, you gotta do whatever you gotta do to get him in the ring, but that's what you got to do. You gotta insult him. You gotta what he said? You gotta insult him. You gotta humiliate him. You gotta do whatever you gotta do to get him inside the ring. But that's what you got to do. And if you don't, you're just gonna be a copy. You're just gonna be you. The only reason you got the world title is just because of your skin tone. And then you're gonna think about, was you really that good? Are you really that great? And yo, that's what you gotta do. You gotta do whatever you gotta do. Well, that's what you got to do. A chicken with a rocky head on it. Hey, yo, but let me say it like this. I did like the back and forth though. I did like the back and forth. What's good, Turkey boy?
Turkey Bay, what's up, Punch?
Turkey bang. What's good, my friend?
What's up?
I'm doing good. I'm talking
Good,
about this
good.
wonderful fight. What do you think?
Oh, I
Do you like
offered
it?
very much so. I offer him a lot of money. Lots and lots of money, my friend.
And he said no.
He said no,
The Puss in Boots said no to me not one time, but two times.
but
Should I
two,
give it money?
no.
Should I break bread?
He wants a tuna, my friend.
I don't want to give this bitch made punk a Philly cheese. Fuck him.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
Nah.
Look, I actually I agree with you on this one. I think Virgil has the keys.
He does. I think so.
I mean, there's a reason that all three guys were there. I mean, he brought Charlo out of hiding. He brought Spence out of hiding. Jerry Jones was there, is what I heard. So why
But
wouldn't
that's
he
what I'm
do that?
talking about. That's what I was saying earlier. Like when I say, yo, Jerry Jones is there. Jerry Jones was with Virgil Ortiz 2 days before. So when y'all see Earl Spence in the locker room with Virgil, Earl Spence vocal. We haven't seen Virgil outside. Jerry Jones love Earl Spence. Jerry Jones supporting Virgil Ortiz. This is lining up Virgil because Jerry Jones looking at it. I'm gonna have a packed stadium. Two Dallas, Texas, two Dallas native came from the same gym. Black and Latino? Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's gonna piss a lot of people off. I mean, you
Look,
go ahead.
it's only gonna I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
It's only gonna piss off this bubble of YouTube. But the business of boxing is looking at it like Virgil Ortiz versus Earl Spence's Dallas is a gold mine. It is what it is. Put it this way: if you're a businessman in the sport of boxing and you don't get the Virgil and Earl Spence in Dallas, then you're a dumb businessman.
You'd have to be. If you look at risk reward, this is a more winnable fight for Virgil for more money and more popularity. I mean, like you
Exactly.
said, I didn't even pick up on the Earl Spence angle of setting up a Bud Crawford fight, but yeah, that makes the most logical sense. If Earl Spence wants to fight you, you fight him.
Yeah, that's it. He got more of a legacy. Put it this way: even if Virgil Ortiz beats, I mean, beats Earl Spence or beats Boots, Earl Spence got a bigger legacy than Jerome Boots Ennis anyway. And I'm not
Facts.
saying I want the Boots and Virgil. What I'm saying is I wouldn't be mad if Virgil picked Earl Spence. That's my angle. I wouldn't be not one cell of man, not 1 inch of a, I wouldn't be 1 inch mad if Virgil decides to fight Earl Spence.
Well, it's not even the question is he a duck if he goes after Earl Spence, because that's what most of the people are saying and are going to believe that Virgil's a quack if he goes after Earl Spence.
No, it's almost like not the equivalent because of course a Manny Pacquiao was way greater, but did Thurman duck Spence or Bud when he went to fight Manny Pacquiao? No, it's Manny Pacquiao. And I'm not saying that Earl Spence is Manny Pacquiao, but they just certain fights that's not a duck. It's almost okay. Put it this way: a lot of people wasn't mad at Canelo Alvarez not fighting Demetrius Andre and then went to fight Kovalev.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's where I agree with you 100%. Look, it's a more winnable fight. That's another thing. Why are people afraid to say that? I'm not afraid to say it. Even as an Ortiz fan, I'm like, look, that's where you go. If they offer you that much money for a more winnable fight, you don't even think about it. In Dallas Stadium, on pay-per-view. And like you said, what's a more legacy defining name, Jaron Ennis or Earl Spence? Can anybody that is pawning for this Jaron Ennis fight, can they say that he's a more legacy defining name? I'm just saying name. Can they literally say that right now?
Hey yo, put it this way: Jerome Boots Ennis don't even have a Javante Tank Davis legacy. Jerome Boots Ennis don't even have a Tank legacy.
Well, what they're gonna say is, oh, he was unified champ. He against who? Stadianos, who got an email belt. I don't understand how these Gerard Ennis fans overlook his glaring gaps, his holes. He's 35 and no. What 35 and no fighter right now has literally nobody on their resume? Who is Stadionis?
And the thing, but put it this way: it's not to shit on it. I'm not. Well, I'm saying it right now. I'm not shitting on. I love the Boots and Vergil fight. I've done enough videos. I've supported this fight, but now where Vergil is at, these last three fights, it has given for me is there's been a little bit of a separation when it comes, especially in resume. Virgil Ortiz is just doing it. He is lining up for something great. Like he's is look who now. Yo, look at the rankings right now. He's number one in the ring. He's number one, and he's the one. He don't even got a title because
Yeah.
of the opponents, the Boachuk, the Majamov. I mean, yeah, the Boachuk, the Majamov, then the Eric Salubin and stuff. Come on, man. And now he got Earls. He got these dudes going to his fight. One in it, one want that fight. Come on, now you got
What?
Jamel Charlo calling you out. You got Earl Spence there, but they he cores you, but you know
And you're
those
right.
stuff going
EJ
on.
has star power. You don't think the stars are going to be there. You don't think the Cowboy players are going to be there. You don't think Shannon Sharp is not going to be there. They're all going to be there for Earl Spence, dude. Don't get it twisted. They'll all come out and they'll all be lining up to support Earl Spence again.
Bro, and everybody going to watch. Even the people that right now they're saying, "Oh man, I want to fight. I haven't seen EJ. He hasn't been in the ring in 2 years." 'Cause guess what? That's also a selling pitch. The return of Earl Spence is a selling pitch.
Well, look, wasn't Stan Jonas out of the ring for 2 years?
Yo, we could say that almost all these guys out the ring for 2 years.
Well,
They don't even
then what's
fighting.
the
Yo, they
problem?
don't even. Everybody feels like they've been out the ring for 2 years. Nobody's fighting enough.
Yeah, Fedora will have had one fight, and well, won't he? Because he took a year off, didn't he? And he came back, fought, and now he's out for another year, right?
Hey, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney was out for a whole year. Teofimo Lopez only fought one time this year.
Yeah, yeah. That. Look, man. The name is the name. What did Marlowe say? Was that Marlowe who said it? My name is my name. Earl Spence is
Huh?
still is one of the biggest names in boxing, and that's not going to change.
That's not
And
gonna
that
change.
and that's kind of isn't that the formula for boxing anyway? You make your star beating the older veteran fighter.
Yep, that's the tradition. That's the blueprint.
Yeah. Then Haney beat Gamboa. Didn't well, I don't know who Shakur Scalp was that was older. I wouldn't call him a star, but Herring a star. But yeah, that's how you do it. You take out the young lion, goes and takes out the older fighter.
Yeah, that's like saying I don't want to see Oscar De La Hoya fight Julio Cesar Chavez because he lost to Frankie Randall.
Good
He's a little
example.
older. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like these boxing fans be man hypocritical and shit like that. So he lost to okay, so yo, but he got beaten by Bud. Okay, now we really see that Bud is just not a great fighter. That Bud is really truly in GOAT conversation when he beat Canelo. So that loss that Bud gave Earl Spence. Yeah, the performance, yeah, he kicked his ass, but he lost to uh top 15, top 10 all-time great fighter though. It's not as bad now. It's not as bad as it looked that night.
Yeah, I mean, how many fucking beatings did Miguel Cotto take? And then when someone took his scalp, they got credit. How many
Put,
beatings did
I,
Zab
put,
Judah get? And anybody who beat him got top billing.
put it this way. I remember Earl Spence was approached to fight Cotto, to move up to fight Cotto. And he declined the Golden Boy promotion deal, and that's why they got Saddam Ali. So I was even in support after the Kell Brook for Errol Spence to fight Miguel Cotto.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's
But
literally how it works.
but he decided to fight Lamont Peterson.
Shit, Virgil could even fight Charlo. I mean, look, all those names, they're still good fighters. I think Spence, Charlo, like you said, it's just such a deep division.
Shit, Thriller said, "Yo, Punch." Virgil had a facial expression that told me this fool don't want to fight. Yo, I was thinking when I was watching that face off, like he just kept saying, "Let's get, yeah, we got this money. Let's get this money. Let's get this money." I don't know if it was because I'm telling you something. What the promoters be doing. This is a way to truly marinate and build the fight. But this is a way, is a strategic way to also make those what we call a in between and weak fights for Boots to be lucrative, because now we're thinking about now many is going to really want to see the next Boots fight, because let's be honest, he went from 15,000 people in Philly to 8,000 people showing up in Philly. So there has been a decline somewhere in the attendance of Boots even in Philly.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I don't. Did he think he was gonna sell against Lima Bean?
Lima, right? Whatever his name is. Lima,
And
Lima, Limonada.
yeah, I mean, dude, he couldn't have picked a better name. So yeah, it does matter who you fight. You can't, especially if you're not Canelo. If you're not Canelo Alvarez or Tank Davis, you can't really just pick anybody and think you're gonna sell out the arena. I mean, you could
That's why I
probably.
like. That's why I like when Virgil, when Virgil was like, when Boots was like, "Yeah, let's get this money. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get this money. Let's get this money. Let's get this money." And he said, "Man,
Right.
can I
Yeah.
get a yes?" Like, bro, you talking about money? You have money on the table. You was gonna get paid more than you ever gotten paid fighting me. Turkey Out Shake was about to pay you. So why you talking about this money, man? Can I get a yes? That's why I like what Virgil Ortiz. And man, can I get a yes? Fuck all that money talk. The money been there, bro. Can I get a yes, motherfucker?
Yeah, that's the part I don't understand is that Turkey Ali literally, I mean, you can go look it up. You posted the black and white. Boots has paperwork. These guys, they don't seem to understand that he turned the fight down. I don't understand what part they're missing about that he turned the fight down.
And that's it's so and that's what it is. Like, yo, Turkey is the best. Turkey is the man. All right, now you're not gonna trust Turkey's word. Turkey is not, and these people, yo, I even read certain comments. Yo, Punch, why you starting a narrative that Boots shut the fuck up. Go talk to Turkey. Turkey was the first guy that came out publicly to expose Boots. Nobody was exposing Boots. It was Turkey to expose Boots.
I seen it in black and white. I seen it with my own eyes. I mean, even before you posted that, I had knew that. Well, how many months ago was that? Was that last year? No, or was it this year that you
No, and
posted
then
that?
he did the box. People go see the boxing voice in Turkey I'll shake the
Oh,
interview. He
that's
said
what.
it like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's the one, right? That he said
He
that.
said
He
it,
said he doesn't. Hmm.
no, go ahead.
Oh yeah, he told Durant that he doesn't do tune-ups. They go back to Eddie. He said that out of his own words,
And
verbatim.
exactly, no, exactly. He said, "I don't." He said, "No charity. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not charity."
So what more
He said, "He
do
said,
people
yeah, I'm
need
not a
to
charity.
see?
You go do it. Go do that fight with Eddie."
Yeah. So my question is, what more do people need to see that he ducked the fight?
It's weird. That like
It's not weird to me. I get
that's
it.
ducking on broad daylight. That's ducking in broad daylight.
No, no. You know what? That's not even broken. That's getting snitched out. Like you, you thought it was just a conversation that was gonna go, nobody would know, and then Turkey just put you on blast.
He put it on blast, and we was waiting for a week or
Hey,
2 weeks.
and then
Everybody was
remember,
saying, "Yo, wear
didn't
boots."
yeah, didn't Jerron say he was on vacation when that happened? He was like, I didn't even look at social media. Yeah, he did. Go look at his tweets. He put out he never even heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who
Yeah.
does that? Will Fighter, he should have just been, yeah, we turned it down because I needed a tune up. But his first response was, oh, I was on vacation. I don't even look at social media.
Yeah. Right.
That was his response.
These dudes be on their phone more than anybody, bro. Every time they out, go to an arena, they on their phone all
Exactly.
day.
There's a guy that follows him around 24/7. So Jerron Ennis is always on social media. Either him or his dad are in the gym 24/7 on social media talking.
Man, please. But anyway, I still we all want to see we all deserve to see that fight anyway because it's still a good fight. But I think that Virgil, like I put on the thumbnail, the role leads to Bud Crawford because if he fights Errol Spence and outperforms Bud Crawford, because look at Virgil is really the only guy that's fighting the guys. This is gonna be it might be three opponents that Earl Spence already faced. I'm sorry. Earl Spence is one of the guys, but this is leading to three opponents: Mean Machine, Madrimov, and Earl Spence that Bud Crawford faced. This is heading to a Bud Crawford fight.
Yeah, that's how Manny Pacquiao chased down Floyd Mayweather. When
Mayweather,
Floyd Mayweather,
yeah,
he fought all his opponents and did better. And
and he and yeah.
that's what drew the comparison. So there is a formula. I remember there was a fighter. Well, I'm sure everybody knows, but Roy Jones Jr. tried to swerve Antonio Tarver, and Tarver went out and cleaned out his division for him. So that's how he actually ended up getting the fight. So let Jerron Ennis go do his thing. Let him go fight Muratalia. Let him go fight Fandora or Zayas if he can get those guys. Why not?
Anything you can do, I can do better. That's what Virgil Ortiz is saying.
Well, I think he's saying he has
Anything
more
you
money.
can do, I can do.
He has a more
No, in
winnable fight
terms
on the
of
table.
no, in terms of fighting the guys that both fight but try to outperform them. Anything you can do, I can do. That's what Manny Pacquiao was doing for Mayweather's opponent.
Yeah, there's plenty of examples of that in boxing. And that's kind of what you have to do. I mean, I think David Benavidez should have did that. He should have, went after all the top guys when Canelo was there. But who did he fight when Canelo was there?
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying. That's why it was still good. That's why when before the Caleb Plant fight, remember I was saying I want to see the fight, but we can't shame Canelo with the David Benavidez only him. But he fought Caleb Plant. He didn't outperform Canelo, but at least he fought Caleb Plant. He fought the Andre. He went up and fought Alessandre. He fought David Morrell. And that's when I'm like, all right, okay, now Canelo, forget about all these fights. Now it's time that you truly give us the David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez fight. Give us that fight now. There ain't nobody there for you. Come on.
Yeah,
That's when I got because you know what? Because when he said fight when he said that after the fight, go fight fighters, and when he was training, go fight more people, and then go fight. And all right, David Benavidez did have some good opponents and good fights.
well, he went and fought the guys that Canelo fought. Like you say, he went and fought Plant. Okay, he didn't want to fight Andrade. I'm gonna go beat him. So there's a
Yeah.
path for Jerron Ennis. That's what you have to do sometimes. So if anybody's crying for Jerron, I think they're just afraid that he might lose in between that time.
Before verdict fight.
Yeah, because like you said, David went out and did it. Antonio Tarver did it. There's plenty of examples. Manny Pacquiao did it to chase Floyd Mayweather. There's guys that they'll tell you no, but what is Jerron gonna do? Keep fighting tune-ups when he gets told no?
Yo, everything's gonna switch up because this is boxing. If trust me, the narrative would have been different because let's say Fandora and Thurman was supposed to fight October 25th. Whoever would have won that fight would have, and then Boots fought the following week. Then we would be talking about yo, Fundora or Thurman, whichever would have won versus Boots. But then a couple of weeks, it was Vergil Ortiz. So then it moves to Boots and Vergil. But watch in January. If that fight that's been postponed, the Thurman and Fundora, they fight in January, you're going to see, yo, then Boots got to fight this one, or Vergil got to fight the winner of this. Josh Kelly going to be fighting Bakram. Whoever wins that fight, that's gonna be the talk of the town. That's why there's 154. You trust me. You're gonna see a lot of people changing. So right now today, it's all about Boots and Virgil. But if you truly really look around, yesterday and today, it's been about Boots, Virgil, and Spence. Whether people like it or not, there's a lot of videos of Earl Spence yesterday.
Yeah, he's still a big name. He's still a big name for big money. But look, even look, no matter what Virgil does, Jerron Ennis still has to do something. Wh- Why are they
I get
not
the
talking
Jamel
about what
Charlo
he's gonna
fight.
do?
If
That's a
I
great
was
fight.
Boots, that's a great fight. If I was Boots, if Virgil T said yesterday in the interview, he said, if I would have to pick, I'm picking Earl Spence. That's my dream fight. And he said, and I don't care what anybody say. So even if he got Spence and Boots on the table again, he's going after Spence. But at the end of the day, Boots is still in a division where it's man stacked. Go after Jamel Charlo that he went up to you. The king at 154, the guy that was the king at 154, wants to fight you. So you should entertain that, Boots.
Exactly. I mean, he was still. I mean, he's not lineal anymore, but he would still be historically lineal because I don't think it
Yeah.
was ever. There's not a lineal champ right now, and Boots is only ranked number 7 in the ring. You know,
And that would be a
uh,
good victory. That would be a good victory if Boots beat Jamel Charlo. It'll still be a great victory at 154. It will be a great victory.
yeah. I mean, look, man. Historically, this is what happens in boxing. I mean, look, Better Be and Bivol. How long did it take for them? It took about 2-3 years.
Hmm.
But did they? But they kept fighting the top competition. I mean, I think that you mean Bivol fought Lyndon Arthur, right? Before he got who didn't he fight some scrub or some didn't he fight some trash can before he got Better BF?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about, right? Bivol fought some like complete guy he outclassed.
yeah, you out there in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, people that are acting like it's crazy for Virgil to fight Spence don't understand that before De La Hoya fought Hopkins, they had like a quasi tournament where Hopkins fought this guy Robert Allen. He fought 3 times. Like imagine if that happened today. That it said that Hopkins was ducking De La Hoya. He's ducking. He's fighting a guy he fought 3 times. And then Oscar fought some no-name German.
Motherfuckers gonna have the balls to say that Virgil is not doesn't want to fight Boots and all that. Hey yo, Boots and his rematch, Karen Chuki Chuki Ruki. Who the hell
Yeah.
rematches
Well, but he
Karen?
said it was a mandatory. That was his excuse, right? Oh, it's my mandatory. Like they don't pay step aside fees all the
Exactly.
time.
Mhm. Exactly.
That's the
No
thing, man.
rematch Karen.
Yeah, man. That look, man. I mean, look, the boxing, the promoters, they all run game on the fans. It is a lot of they run game on us, huh?
Can you imagine Tio rematching Steve Claggett?
Yeah, I heard your take on that. Yeah, yeah. That's essentially what it would be like. But then if he said, oh, that's my mandatory.
Yeah, right. All right, then Canelo Alvarez rematch Jaime Munguia.
Who?
If Canelo Alvarez would have rematched Jaime Munguia because he probably still would have been in a mandatory.
Yeah, I mean, they could have made that happen. I think they were even Berlanga was even saying that. Oh, I can go get number one and I'll rematch Canelo. Like, okay, yeah,
Hmm.
and Canelo could sell that. Like, oh, hey, it's my mandatory. Like that.
Hmm.
I mean, didn't Devin Haney fight Cambozo twice? That shit. That
Hmm.
man, that's the thing with boxing, bro. This is nothing new. People act like that they're new to boxing when these things happen.
Yeah, man. But I think we're gonna be talking more about this shit. It's gonna be throughout the rest of the year until we see another fight at 154. We're gonna see Josh Kelly Bakram January 24th. I think we're gonna see this fight. Um, maybe I could see this fight being in the Shakur's Teofimo Lopez card.
What fight?
Josh Kelly and Bakram.
Oh, okay, okay. That's a good
But that's
fight.
gonna be.
That's
I don't know that the Tio and Shakur is probably gonna be in New York. So I don't know if the Josh Kelly and Bakram, but
I
maybe.
mean, Bakram should beat Josh Kelly pretty easy. I mean, they're saying that's the true monster. It's not Jaron Ennis. It's not Vergil Ortiz. It's that guy. That's the wild card.
I
He's
think
supposedly the Terminator.
it'll be Shakur and Tio, and then it will be Andy Cruz versus Murataya on the I think that's gonna be in that card.
Really, that's a great fight.
That'll be a good card. Andy Cruz, Murataya, Tio, Shakur, and yo, they could put Richardson Hitchens in that card versus somebody because it's gonna
Well,
be in New
140
York.
is really deep. He could fight. He could fight a handful of people.
I say this. I say this because I think it makes sense. Shakur because it'll be top rank and matchroom. And Eddie Hearn is going to be promoting it as well. So you put Shakur versus Tio, Andy Cruz versus Majimov. I'm sorry, Muritaya, and you have Keyshawn Davis versus Richardson Hitchens. That should be
That that would be a barn burner.
that should be the call right there.
I don't think it happens, but that's a hell of a card. That's a great way to start the year.
Hmm.
And it all makes sense because they all kind of line up. Andy Cruz wants Keyshawn, Hitchinson's wants T.O. So, that's how kind of they should do the fights that everybody on the card has some kind of determination about future
Shit.
fights.
If Turkey Al Sheikh said not Turkey, but the zone said that they having 12 pay-per-views. I'm looking at what's truly going to be 12 pay-per-view fights.
There's not.
So that will be a pay-per-view event. You got Reha season in February. You're probably gonna have Terrence Bud Crawford again.
You think he
Canelo
comes
Alvarez
back
gonna
that
be.
soon? I don't think he comes back till middle of the year, if that.
Who's gonna take over Cinco de Mayo? Virgil or David
Mm.
Benavidez?
Benavidez. I'd pick Benavidez first, but he's supposed to fight in February, isn't he? They already want him back, him and Devin. I thought that
Mm.
was the plan. If Devin is successful, Benavidez and Haney will fight in February.
Yo, can you imagine Errol Spence and Virgil
Well,
from
there you
Cinco de
go.
Mayo?
That's probably what it's going to be because Canelo's not coming back that soon, is he?
Mm-mm.
There's nobody else.
Mm-mm.
Who else can they put on Single de Mile besides Tank Davis? I mean, maybe he could, but it'd have to be somebody. Uh, Manny Pacquiao and Tank Davis, Single de Mile.
Mm. I
Or
heard.
Ryan, if he's successful in January against Barrios, he could fight on Cinco de Mayo.
Mm. Hell yeah.
Ryan
I
and
think
Manny
that'd be
Pacquiao,
too
Cinco de
long.
Mayo. Huh?
That would be too long.
What do you mean?
Ryan back in Cinco de Mayo, shit. That'd
For
be
the
too
money,
long.
if they both Manny fights, at, he was supposed to fight. The first rumor was he was supposed to fight of Rolly in January 24th. Then they were rumoring that Mayweather Pacquiao for on Netflix. And I haven't heard anything since. And they're lining up Ryan Garcia and Barrios in January. So I'm thinking something along those lines are going to happen.
Mm. Yeah, man. But yo, man, I'm gonna starting to eat, man. I'm gonna tune this one
Okay.
out.
Thank you.
Good looking out, man. Appreciate you,
Yeah.
brother.
Thank you. Salute.
Salute, salute. Everybody in the chat, man. Have a great night. We back tomorrow in an earlier schedule. Love y'all, man. God bless, and on to the next.